Do you want to see something cool? Check this out. Woo! Which one do you like? We're gonna talk about all this stuff in this video today with this panel light. Ciao belli! I haven't said that in a while. How are you all? Hope you're good. Today we have another light. I just reviewed another light in my previous video. If you haven't seen it, go and check it out. Today we have here the Pixel P80. The company is Pixel. You can check their website. I'm gonna drop the link in the description tab. We're gonna start right away by telling what this thing is. P80, it's a panel light, RGB, CCT, different modes. I'm gonna explain a bit later on in the video. It's actually a 60-watt light and not an 80 as the name could suggest. Brightness wise, we're talking about 4800 lumens at 1 meter of distance from the subject. Let's start from some unboxing. I'm gonna tell you what you find when you get this thing, and actually not much. This time inside the box I only found the light itself, Pixel P80, and the charging cable. That's all for the standard kit, which is exactly this one. On Pixel website you will find different combos as well. Other combos include like a battery slot, so you can run the light through batteries. You will find also a combo with the batteries and one combo with 2 lights and the stands. So this is very plain, nothing comes with it. Price wise, you will find this light at £141. All the links in the description. For the 2 lights combo, you will find it for £282, including the stands. All right, let me move this light around because I want to show you some features as I talk through my other camera. Right here, we're gonna talk about the dimensions and the weight of the light itself. So it measures 33.8 centimeters by 30.1 by 6. The width here 6.75. Weight wise, we're talking about 1 kilo and 65 grams. And as I've got the light here with me next to me, let's talk about the build. Mainly we've got plastic and aluminum. Some of the key features of the build are the removable barn doors at the front. So these are the barn doors that you can open and direct the light as you wish, and I'm going to show you in a second. There you go. You got 4 of them. They're actually removable through these buttons, which are here at the top. So we got one here and one on the other side. You simply clip it and you can release the barn doors. In terms of directing the light, check this out. So as you don't have a proper softbox or diffuser, that's what you can do. So I'm moving my left wing, there you go, the door, and you can really direct it that way or open up to the other side and so on with the upper or lower door. Then we have a silicone, let's call it softbox, that helps to diffuse the light so it's not too harsh on the subject. At the back we have a cooling system. This is zero noise cooling system, you don't hear a thing. I tested the light a little bit yesterday and it kind of warmed up a little, but I didn't really face any overheating issues so far. Then in terms of mounting adapter, I'm gonna show you this. So this is your adapter, and you can place your light in a vertical position, as you can see here. With these dials on the side, you can tilt up and down a little bit the light, but to place the actual light horizontally, we're still using the adapter here. So we can remove the light completely off your stand, and we're gonna mount it horizontally. There you go. And you lock it back. At the back of the light, it also features a digital display. It's not in colors. It's very simple as well, quite straightforward as the controls are, and we're going to check those out later on. As I'm going with the video, I'm going to change some of the colors, so it gives you an idea what you can do with the light as well. Yeah, let's go some purple color. But we're going to jump to the next section, which is the power options. And of course, as I mentioned, you've got the cable that you can plug into your socket. Easy and straightforward. Maybe the cable here is a bit, it's not that long, especially the first part, because the cable is split into two parts. And I would extend the first part when you've got the actual adapter, because the adapter is quite heavy and it's not reaching the floor, so it puts a lot of pressure at the back pin here on the light. Luckily, this pin at the back is very strong, and you can actually lock it in by spinning this dial, so it shouldn't be any problem, but still it would be better if it was a bit longer. Second option, again, as I said before, you can buy a battery plate and power the light through the batteries. Usually you can use the Sony batteries, the big ones. It's the same rule for many different lights. Also some other lights I reviewed on my channel. Go and check them out right here. A lot of sound effects today. If you're using the batteries, you can run the light via batteries for around 2 hours and 40 minutes at full power, and around 5 hours if you're using the light at 50% of its power. Shall we talk about some of the features and actually the modes of the light? We got different modes, and we're gonna start from the CCT mode, which usually reproduces the daylight during the actual day. So you can get from a warmer temperature to a colder temperature. And here you can run from 2500 Kelvin up to 10,000. Some lights don't reach 10,000, but they go up to 7500 or 8000 Kelvin degrees. So this is a plus for this light. And here again, you can choose the intensity and the temperature of the light. This is the temperature, for example. You can see it's getting warmer, and we are at 2500 Kelvin. And then we can go up to 10,000. There you go, which is much cooler. It becomes kind of bluish. You can see there. In the CCT mode, you can add also a tint. So you can add some green or pink shades. There you go. Let's see if you can spot anything there. Yeah, it's definitely pink here now. And we are going towards the green merging with the blue. But yeah, well, let's go to 0. So you can really match any other lights if you're using different kits. And of course you can change the intensity of the light itself. 0%, and we go up to 100. There you go. If I open up the doors, I'm gonna blind you and myself. Then we're gonna jump to the next mode, and this is the HSI. So hue, saturation and intensity. The name says it all. And from here you can literally choose any shade of the spectrum of light, so any color. This is the intensity. Again, you can change the intensity of the light. We're gonna go down to the hue, so there you go. It's literally like rainbows. And you've got the saturation as well, so yeah, again, it's self-explanatory. Next mode, it's the RGB, and to be honest, this is very similar to the HSI, but it's very useful if you want to match a specific color. I'm not sure if you have ever used Photoshop, but you actually have different codes for every color in RGB, and you can match it here. So you can pick the code and select the red, green and blue, and recreate the color you want. Last but not the least, we have some effects. Specifically, we have 10 effects. You've got the candle lights, quite common. As you can see, the light is blinking very softly. SOS, fast RGB, so it goes through all the spectrum. Fire truck, woo, woo, woo. Ambulance, you got the police, and the cinema, which is a whitish light that moves very slowly and fades in and out. Then we got lighting, 1, lighting 2, and that's all. Very useful, well, again, for cinematography, if you're filming a short film or those kind of things. Then we're going to talk about the controls that actually you have seen already, more or less, as I was going through the different modes. It's very simple, the menu very straightforward. We have some buttons at the back, the power button to turn the light on and off. We have the GP button, which stands for groups. So basically you can give to a certain group different lights. You can link to this group different lights and control those lights at the same time. But also you can create different groups of lights. So you can have a group of lights in red and control that specific group, and have a group in blue, in a blue shade, and control that specific group as well at the same time. And so for the channel as well. So for each group you can also create different channels. The fourth button is a kind of a shortcut to increase the power, the intensity of the light. Then we have an M button, which is the mode button, and literally it allows us to go through all the different modes we've checked before. And the same function comes with the central button here. So this tiny button in the middle allows us to go through the different modes, and the up, down, left and right arrows to go through the different settings. Very simple. Then the interesting thing is the app, as I showed you at the very beginning at the intro. So through the app you can control the light exactly as it happens on the light itself, and you can turn it on and off through the app. But also, yes, you've got all the different settings, of course, the dim, the CCT, all the different modes, CCT, RGB, HSI, but we also have an extra mode, which is the gels, and these are templates of, basically what gels in cinematography do. So it's literally a gel that you place in front of your light with different colors to change the temperature of the light. And you've got some presets here, you can simply click on it and go through them, also with the intensity. Then you have the option to select camera mode. So with camera mode, you will actually enter your camera, and from here you can face any object, for example, of a specific color, and the light will match that color that you just picked with your camera. Then you've got the effects as before that we've seen already. Now we're gonna test the light a little bit, because you've seen I'm using it as a background light, which is very useful, but also I want to check if I can use it as a studio light, as a key light. So if it's not too harsh, we're gonna replace my softbox here, my studio light, see if it works out. Right, do you think I'm a little bit overexposed? Okay, let's do some changes. I put my light over there. As you can see, I replaced my softbox. Definitely it's too harsh. I can't even keep my eyes open. Let's open the app and do some modifications. See if we can work this out. All right, now we start talking. So I'm at, I would say, for a correct exposure, okay, that's 20%. It's not too bad. I can direct the light a bit better, so it doesn't spill too much in the background. Okay, it's not too bad, still a bit harsh. And also the temperature, let's go to around 6,000. My camera is set at 5600 Kelvin, but I think it's too warm if I go that way. Definitely 6,000 is the right temperature. Okay, it's not too bad, it's usable. Still, I would use an extra softbox on top if you really have to use this as a key light on a face. Let's see if we change some of the colors here, how it looks like. Okay, yeah, it's not working on the face, I think, the red color, unless it goes really, really low. This is 6% now, it's still too much, I reckon. So 1% here. Definitely, unless you do some creative photography, I wouldn't use this light on someone's face directly. It's just too weird, isn't it? The next test I want to do is to use it as a fill light. So put my softbox and my studio light on and use that instead of this tube light. So we're going to create some hair light, and that's definitely, I think we can achieve some good stuff with this light. Let's switch. And we are back on the softbox, as you can see here. And I actually put the P80 right there at the back as a fill light, hair light. And you can see it spilling here, but I want to increase it, increase the intensity so you can really see it. There you go. And it really helps to create some contrast between the background and your subject, so very helpful in that way. Of course, we can go to HSI, once again, change the color and the intensity, and just create the effect you want. So the pink wouldn't work. Yeah, usually the blue works really nicely on skin because it has a nice contrast. This is 8%, which is probably too much. I would go, okay, it's kind of hard to dial the actual number you want. So you will go maybe from 0 to 3 and 6 and 8. You can really go one by one in terms of percentage. So that's one thing I noticed, but that's quite nice. Definitely you can use it, yeah, for this purpose as well. Aliens. Conclusion, my thoughts. So you have heard all the things I liked of this light through the video. So I'm going to mention a couple of things that I think that can be improved. And first of all, you will notice right here this spilling between the barn door and the actual light. We have a gap. Through this gap, a lot of light spills out. And for example, if I keep the light next to me, as you see here, the light is actually coming out of this gap, and it will go right on my face. You can see especially on my neck, if I cover the gap. Yeah, do you see here? I think that can be improved in very simple ways. But the first thing I noticed when I opened the box, there was no case. There's no carrying case. So how am I supposed to carry the light around? I need to purchase separately something or put in my rucksack. Again, which is not the best solution. So almost all the lights I'm receiving nowadays have a carrying case. I don't see why this light cannot have one. I noticed that the 2 kit lights though is coming with the case. So I would do a smaller one for the single kit as well. I mean, overall, I think RGB lights are a lot of fun to play with nowadays. You can be very creative in terms of photography, videography. So I would recommend this one for either product photography or portrait as well. If you have a couple of those and you want to create those nice colorful contrast, definitely useful. Nice as a background light, you can just see it right there. So it really spills powerfully, so you can bright up bigger environments as well. Maybe I wouldn't recommend it specifically for studio lights in terms of key light. As we mentioned, it's probably not the softer light unless you can make it softer with some extra diffuser. But I reckon that with a carrying case, it would be also quite portable and it's not too heavy to carry around. So good option if you're looking for a panel light. I think that's all. If you have any question, drop a comment down here. I hope you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and I think I will see you in the next video. Do I say this every time? Yeah, I do.